his political neutrality equally so. I've reviewed 43 historical precedents involving inter-village treaties, he stated, his lazy drawl at odds with the sharp intelligence in his eyes. In all cases where terms remained unfulfilled due to one party's extinction, Konoha honored obligations to survivors or acknowledged material breach with formal reparations. His gaze locked with Danzo's. To rule differently in this single case would constitute discriminatory treatment without legal basis. The Nara support the treaty's full enforcement. Momentum gathered like a wave building offshore, power accumulating with each presentation. When the last clan had resumed his seat, attention shifted inexorably to Danzo, who rose with unhurried grace that belied his age. My esteemed colleagues present compelling arguments, he began, voice smooth as oil floating on water. Their commitment to principle is admirable, if perhaps impractical in our current reality. He withdrew a scroll from within his robes, unrolling it with deliberate movements. However, principles must sometimes yield to necessity. During my research, I discovered this. He held up the document, its edges yellowed with age. This is Emergency Protocol 16, enacted during the Second Shinobi War and never formally repealed. It explicitly grants the Council authority to suspend treaty obligations during times of existential crisis. His visible eye swept the chamber. Yuzushiogakure fell during such a crisis. The protocol was lawfully invoked. Murmurs rippled through the audience as Danzo continued. Furthermore, the protocol stipulates that if suspended treaty obligations remain unenforced for a period exceeding 20 years, they are considered permanently nullified. He placed the scroll on the table with the careful precision of a man setting the final piece in a long-planned strategy. It has been more than 30 years since Yuzushiogakyo's fall. Whatever moral obligations we may feel, the legal matter is clear. The chamber erupted in whispers, the momentum suddenly stalled, uncertainty flooding the space that certainty had occupied moments before. Tsunade's expression darkened, but before she could speak, Naruto rose to his feet. The whispers died instantly. Emergency Protocol 16, he said, voice cutting through the chamber like a blade through silk. An interesting document. I became familiar with it during my research. A smile touched his lips, not his once familiar grin, but something sharper, more controlled. Particularly the requirement that protocols invoked under it must be formally registered with the Fire Daimyo's office within 30 days. He withdrew a scroll from within his formal robe, newer, bearing the Fire Daimyo's distinctive seal. This certification from the Daimyo's archives, obtained just last week, confirms no such registration was ever filed for any suspension of the Konoha Yuzushiogakure Treaty. Danzo's expression didn't change, but a muscle twitched beneath his eye, microscopic, but visible to those watching closely. Moreover, Naruto continued, withdrawing a second document, this mission order signed by the third Hokage 3 years after Yuzushiogakyo's fall dispatched a squad to search for Uzumaki survivors, explicitly citing treaty obligations as justification. He set both scrolls on the table with precise movements that mirrored Danzo's. The village continued recognizing the treaty's validity long after the supposed invocation of Protocol 16. The tide turned again, momentum swinging back with redoubled force. Danzo's supporters shifted uncomfortably in their seats, recognizing the ground shifting beneath their arguments. Legal technicalities aside, Danzo countered, voice hardening slightly, practical governance must account for present realities, not ancient obligations. The Uzumaki clan exists now in name only, a single individual without the training, knowledge, or cultural context that made the original alliance valuable. A single individual? The new voice rang from the chamber entrance. Where Kazashi Uzumaki stood revealed, the concealment seal dissolved. His crimson hair, faded to rust with age but unmistakably Uzumaki, was bound in the traditional topknot of clan elders. He wore formal robes bearing sealwork so complex it seemed to shift and move in the chamber's light. Gasps erupted throughout the room, followed by absolute silence. I am Kazashi Uzumaki, former senior counselor of Yuzushiogakure, blood cousin to Kushina Uzumaki, and one of 17 survivors who have maintained our clan's traditions in exile while Konoha conveniently forgot its obligations. His voice carried the weight of decades of controlled fury finally unleashed. We have trained the air. We have preserved our knowledge. The clan survives. No thanks to those who abandoned us to destruction. Danzo rose sharply. abandoning composure for the first time. This is irregular. Unannounced witnesses cannot. I recognize Kazashi Uzumaki, Tsunade interrupted, her voice cracking through the chamber like thunder. And I invoke my authority not just as Hokage, but as head of the Senju clan, blood relatives to the Uzumaki since before Konoha's founding. She stood, the fire shadow hat gripped in white-knuckled hands. The first Hokage, my grandfather, signed the original treaty not as a political convenience but as recognition of bonds that preceded villages entirely. The Uzumaki and Senju are cousin clans, their blood and chakra intermingled for generations. Her amber eyes blazed. When we abandoned Yuzushiogakure, we betrayed not just allies, but family. The declaration hung in the air, impossible to dismiss or diminish. Tsunade's dual authority, as both village leader and Senju clan head, carried weight that even Danzo could not easily counter, yet he tried. Emotional appeals cannot override security considerations. The Uzumaki sealing techniques, while valuable, were also dangerous, attracting enemies that ultimately destroyed their village. His voice hardened with practiced conviction. Reviving those techniques in Konoha would paint a target on our walls at a time when we remained vulnerable after Pain's attack. The techniques never left. The lazy drawl cut through tension like a precisely thrown kunai. Kakashi Hatake materialized in the center of the chamber in a swirl of leaves, trademark orange book nowhere in sight, his visible eye serious in a way rarely witnessed. Sensei, he nodded respectfully to Tsunade before turning to face the circle. I speak as former ANBU captain, as student of the 4th Hokage, and as witness to conversations never entered into official record. The chamber stilled, even breathing seemingly suspended as Kakashi continued. Minato Namikaze, the 4th Hokage, maintained a private journal that was sealed upon his death. As his student, I was entrusted with specific pages to be revealed only under certain circumstances. He withdrew a folded paper from his vest, chakra pulsing briefly as he broke a blood seal. I believe those circumstances have arrived. He unfolded the page, the handwriting visible to all who cared to activate chakra-enhanced vision, unmistakably the 4th's precise script. The Uzumaki legacy must be restored, Kakashi read, voice pitched to carry to every corner. Not just for Kushina's sake, or for our son who will bear both our names, but for Konoha's future. The 3rd's decision to suppress their history after the fall of Yuzushiogakure was well-intentioned but misguided. Enemies destroyed their village precisely because they feared Uzumaki power that protected Konoha since its founding through Mito's and now Kushina's sacrifice as Jinchuriki. Kakashi looked up, his single eye sweeping the chamber. Upon becoming Hokage, I intended to formally reinstate the Uzumaki seat on the council and restore their compound lands. Kushina's pregnancy necessitated postponing this action, a delay I now regret as war looms. Should anything happen to us, this record stands as testament to my intentions and as instruction to my successors. Honor the treaty. Restore the Uzumaki to their rightful place. It is not merely obligation, but necessity for Konoha's future. The paper crackled in the absolute silence that followed. The voice of a dead Hokage reaching across years to address a village that had failed his final wishes. Danzo's face had gone rigid, calculation visible behind his mask of calm. Intentions never executed carry no legal weight, he said, voice brittle. Sentimentality cannot guide village governance. No, Hayashi Hyuga agreed, rising suddenly from his seat. Sentimentality should not guide governance. Nor should fear. Nor expediency. His pale eyes swept the chamber with uncomfortable intensity. Only principle endures. Only honor sustains. He turned to face Naruto directly. The Hyuga cast our vote to fully recognize the treaty between Konoha and Yuzushiogakure, and all rights and obligations therein, including the immediate installation of Naruto Uzumaki to the council seat guaranteed his clan. The declaration landed like an explosive tag in the center of the chamber. From Hayashi Hyuga, traditional, conservative, once openly disdainful of Naruto, the support carried significance that transcended political calculation. It spoke of principle upheld regardless of personal feeling, of honor maintained despite inconvenience. One by one, clan heads rose to cast their votes. The tally mounted, inexorable as the tide, until Tsunade called for opposition votes. Danzo and the elders stood, joined by a scattering of military representatives and civilian councilors. They were outnumbered nearly 3-1. The council has spoken, Tsunade declared, satisfaction bleeding through her formal tone. By overwhelming majority, we recognize the continuing validity of the treaty between Konoha and Uzushio-Gakure. We acknowledge Naruto Uzumaki's right to the Uzumaki Council seat, to clan status equal to founding families, and to the lands designated for Uzumaki use within village boundaries. She struck the ceremonial gong, its resonance vibrating through bones and stone alike. Let the record show that on this day, Konoha remembers its promises and honors its obligations. The Uzumaki return to their rightful place among us. Applause erupted from the galleries. Tentative at first, then swelling to thunderous proportions as citizens stomped feet and pounded fists against railings. The sound crashed against the chamber walls like a physical force, years of suppressed truth finally breaking through. Through it all, Naruto remained standing, gaze locked with Danzo's across the circle. The elder's face betrayed nothing, but the white-knuckled grip on his cane spoke volumes. This isn't over. Danzo's lips shaped the words without sound, meant for Naruto alone. Naruto's answering smile contained no joy, only certainty. No, he replied in kind. It's just beginning. Above them, carved into the chamber's domed ceiling, the symbol of Konoha watched over proceedings. The stylized leaf that had always contained the subtle spiral of Uzushio-Gakure woven into its design, hidden in plain sight for generations, now impossible to unsee. Just like the truth, sunset blazed across Konoha, painting the village in molten gold and casting long shadows that stretched like yearning fingers toward the east. Atop the Hokage Tower, a ceremony 3 decades overdue unfolded with the weight of history pressing down on every syllable, every gesture. Naruto knelt on a cushion worn smooth by generations of clan heads before him, the crimson spiral on his back catching fire and the dying light. Before him stood Tsunade, resplendent in full Hokage regalia, the shadows beneath her eyes the only testament to the exhausting council session that had concluded hours earlier. Shizen stood at her right, holding an ancient wooden box carved with spiraling patterns. To her left, Kazashi Uzumaki stood ramrod straight, his weathered face solemn but eyes gleaming with vindication long denied. By the authority vested in me as 5th Hokage, Tsunade's voice rang clear in the evening air, carrying to the crowd gathered in the plaza below. And in accordance with the treaty between Konohagakure and Uzushio-Gakure, I hereby formally recognize Naruto Uzumaki as head of the Uzumaki clan in Konoha and grant him the council seat promised to his bloodline. She lifted the lid of the wooden box, revealing a medallion of burnished copper suspended on a chain of interlocking spirals. The metal glowed as if lit from within, ancient seals etched into its surface pulsing gently with stored chakra. This sigil was entrusted to the first Hokage by Mito Uzumaki, to be held until the Uzumaki clan could once again take their rightful place in Konoha's governance. Tsunade lifted the medallion, its weight seeming to pull at her arms with more than mere physical mass. It has waited too long to be claimed. She placed it around Naruto's neck, the metal warm against his skin, alive with chakra that resonated with his own, recognizing blood and birthright in a way no document or declaration ever could. The crowd below erupted, the sound crashing against the Hokage monument like a physical force. Naruto rose, the last light of day transforming his blonde hair to a crown of fire. When he spoke, his voice carried without effort, words shaped by the same confident authority that had faced down pain, that had turned enemies to allies, that had forced the village to remember what it had tried to forget. I accept this responsibility not just for myself, but for all those who came before. Those who died believing Konoha would honor its promises, those who lived with the bitter taste of betrayal, those who preserved our legacy when others would have erased it. His eyes swept the crowd, finding faces he recognized, friends, teachers, strangers who now wore his clan's symbol openly. The Uzumaki returned to Konoha today not as supplicants, but as equals. Not as forgotten allies, but as founding partners in the village's future. The medallion pulsed against his chest, chakra responding to the conviction in his voice. Together, we rebuild what was broken, not just buildings, but trust. Not just homes, but honor. As darkness claimed the sky, paper lanterns throughout the village flickered to life, thousands of them, crimson and white, casting their glow over streets and buildings still bearing the scars of pain's attack. In their light, Konoha seemed transformed, not just physically rebuilding, but spiritually awakening to forgotten truths now impossible to ignore. Dawn found Naruto standing on overgrown land at Konoha's eastern edge, dew-soaked grass soaking his sandals as fog curled around ancient stone markers half buried in earth. The property, nearly 5 acres abutting the village wall, had lain abandoned for decades, protected from development by treaty stipulations that even Danzo hadn't dared to overtly violate. It doesn't look like much, Shikamaru observed, hands shoved deep in pockets as he surveyed the tangle of vegetation and crumbling stone foundations. Troublesome amount of work ahead. It's perfect, Naruto breathed, feeling something deep within him settling into place, the last wandering piece of his identity clicking into its designated spot. This wasn't just property. It was heritage made physical, connection to a past he'd been denied. Kazashi moved among the ruins with the careful steps of a man walking through sacred ground or a minefield. Perhaps both. His weathered hands brushed moss from fallen stones, fingers tracing spirals worn almost smooth by decades of rain and neglect. The main compound stood there,
Hello,
he said,
how's it going?
pointing toward the eastern edge where foundation stones formed a rough rectangle. 3 buildings connected by covered walkways. The central structure housed clan leadership and the ceremonial sealing chamber. His voice grew distant, eyes seeing ghosts instead of overgrowth. The archives were beneath, protected by seals that would have survived even if the buildings above did not. Sakura pushed through waist-high weeds, medical training making her habitually cautious of hidden snakes or poisonous plants. You think the archives are still intact? After all this time? Uzumaki seals don't fail with time, Kazashi replied, the simple statement carrying absolute certainty. They grow stronger. He approached what appeared to be a natural rock formation near the center of the property. A limestone outcropping unremarkable except for its perfect circular shape. Kneeling beside it, he pressed his palm against the stone, channeling chakra in a complex pattern. Nothing happened. Blood, he said, glancing at Naruto. It requires blood recognition. Mine might work, but yours would be stronger.
I'm listening to a What If Naruto story made by, I don't know who it's made by. It came from a fan of fiction. Story made by somebody that somebody uploaded. I like listening to them. Favorite team? It would have to be. Favorite team would have to be the Spiders. I like taming them, I like breeding them, and I like leaving them in other people's bases whenever I had a Xbox Live. Used to play on a PvE server, and every now and then I sit there, I line a whole army of spiders in front of their base. I'm talking about anywhere between 30 to 50 spiders. And whenever they came out, they went, holy shit. Oh yeah, that's why I love them. In order to tame a spider, you would need the bug repellent. Let's see. I don't even think I got that on. You would need the stemnet, because that's part of it. And where is the going at? Should be close. I know I passed it. It's around here somewhere. There it is. Yeah, the bug repellent helps the dinos not aggro on you. So if you have a ghillie suit and have bug repellent, which is kind of hard to make because you need fentanyl, which is lemons, and rock carrots, plus hair and pelt, so your hair, and two narcotics in order to make them. That's a good item to have whenever you go cave exploring too. And they eat rotten meat, so I should I should start making that. The best map to tame the Arcano on would have to be Ragnarok. Yeah. So if you play on Ragnarok, it'll be the easiest place to tame the spiders. They're mostly over by the volcano area. Oh, I built a castle there too. I built a massive castle. I don't know if I have it on YouTube videos or not. I never really played on Crystal Isles. I have, but it's not my favorite map. The If I had a favorite map, I would have to say it is oh hell, what's that one called? Uh, Man, what is it called? Screw it. I'll exit out of here real quick. I say my favorite map would be Aberration due to the fact that the dinosaurs glow in the dark. I like it so much. The island's good. Ragnarok is good. I played on Scorched Earth, which I like. Extinctions, um, it's pretty good. It's not my favorite one. Like I said, Aberration is due to the rock climbing pics. I love that. see, I played on Vertigirl, Valgiro. I'm sorry, I'm butchering the names. That one's good. Ragnarok is good. And Jirder. The one I got selected right now. I like that one too, due to the fact it's got the Lord of the Rings built into that map. They have some of the Lord of the Rings built into the map. But my favorite. I played the new Ark Ascended. I played that, but I don't like it. I don't like the Ark Ascended. And you're gonna hate me for this, but the reason why I don't like Ark Ascended is because they spawn in too many baby dinosaurs. It's like too many baby dinosaurs just roaming around. I probably would enjoy it a little bit more if there was like fertilized eggs on there. If they had like dinosaur nests to certain regions, like over in this area, if they had a couple nests of Titan boas with eggs in it, or just mothers protecting the eggs, it'd be freaking awesome. But I don't know. It's just too many babies, and it didn't really make sense to me. For the mammals, I understand babies running around the side of the mothers, but for the egg-laying dinosaurs, it just did not make sense. But I'm probably being too picky about that anyways. Built the bridge. Oh yeah. Took a couple hours, 4 or 5. I'm gonna say 5 to 6 hours to make. And just to show the how much bullshit I had to do. Only a couple of thousand pillars to use. And there's the finished product of the boat that I was building the other day. The only downfall to the bridge is that this boat, I would have to go all the way around the island. But other than that, I love that bridge. Wait until it gets dark. I'll turn on the lights for the bridge. I still got to finish laying the lights down. The raft's not that hard to build. It's like 250 wood, 75 hide, and 125 fiber. still got to finish laying down the light stuff. But I got almost the whole bridge lit up. I'm still debating on putting like a roof on top or make some massive pillars alongside of the bridge. Maybe like every 10 or so pillars, make a massive uh, bridge or massive pillars on the side that has it going over the top and down on the other side. Haven't decided. I need to get some seeds. Potato seed. I need the carrots and the lemons. Oh, there we go. Just one bite and I got it. you. A kickapoo. Welcome back. Yeah, I figured you wasn't ready to sleep. Oh yeah. Me, I tend to play alone. I mean, I'll play with my friends, but I make my own tribe. Just so I don't get yelled at. to go gather resources or anything. I can play at my own pace. Nothing wrong with that. I think the last time I was in a tribe with a friend, we was playing on a PvP server, and I decided to build our base over in this area. Oh yeah. Especially ever since they put the Smithy option in there. So we built a base over here and walled it off with spikes. And one day a guy came over with a Reaper King to give us some items and things for free. And my friend accidentally whistled the Parasaur to attack the Reaper King. It was kind of hilarious seeing a level 15 Parasaur attacking a level 300 Reaper, 300 plus Reaper King. And the guy on it just looking down at the Parasaur like, what the hell is this supposed to do? Yeah. The guy was a good sport about it. Nothing's wrong with the swamp area, especially the swamp puppies. They like to come out and give you a hug every now and then. There we go. First time I got attacked by one of those little freaking alligators. God, that scared the hell out of me. I don't know if you remember this or not, but do you remember the animations on the Plant Species X? Oh yeah. Yeah, the one with the tentacles. Whenever I first played the game, the tentacles sat there and moved around and had this. Yeah, the tentacles moved around, but they in a later update they made it stationary, and I don't know why they did that. The movement of the tentacles was pretty awesome. I mean, if I get attacked by Argent, I'll try to take it down, but I'm looking for a saber tooth. What smirk? I had no smirk at all, I swear. Hyenodons. I don't need those. Oh yeah. Guess I could go over here. I better not fly too low in the redwoods. I'm gonna have a philo jump out and give me a hug. That scared the crap out of me the first time too. Flying through the forest on a Pteranodon, and all of a sudden a big kitty cat jump out and grab me. I was playing with some friends on Ragnarok, and I built up in the cave over there in the highlands, close to the Wyvern Scar. And one of my friends decided it was a good idea to collect some Wyvern eggs that day. And I had a Pteranodon tamed in my base, and I was logged off. I logged off and I forgot to put my Pteranodon on passive. So whenever my friend decided to anger a wyvern, he flew towards my base because my base was the closest to get away from it. And all of a sudden my Pteranodon, the way he puts it, he fell, his tame got killed near my cave, and my Pteranodon came out and started to attack the wyvern. And he got to scamper away with his wyvern egg while my Pteranodon decided to take on the freaking wyvern and died. It was even funnier whenever he showed up the next day at work. Because I haven't got on yet, and he had to explain it to me that my Pteranodon saved his ass but got killed in the process. I went, gee, thanks. And it was the first level 150 Pteranodon I tamed. Father tamed it. It was level 150. I named it. I was going to keep it. I was going to sit there and I got attached to it, and I found out it died. It's alright though, I can still hold it. Nah, he never replaced it. But I love holding the fact that he got my Pteranodon killed over his head still. I won't let him live it down either. the money too. Oh, there you are. Oh, come on. I cannot pick you up. You gotta be picked up. You're like one of the things that this Argent can pick up is a freaking saber. Yeah, screw it. Too many, too many. Assholes.
Of all the abnormalities that I've observed, the tamed megalodons stick out to me. It was almost like they were stray dogs who were re-socialized, as though they had a genetic history of human obedience. Most of my
That one's
observations
supposed to
have been in
be
the wild, but I think I may
tagged.
learn
This
from
one
it
should
if I
be
observe
picked up.
domesticated creatures
swear.
more closely. I need to study their diets,
Yeah.
their mating patterns,
I
how they
was- I
socialize
don't know
with
what
other
the hell's
species,
going on.
all that. Rumor has it that there's some woman that's tamed a whole mess of them, all by herself. So many that they call
Take that
her the
scorpion,
Beast
no?
Queen of the jungle.
Oh,
Maybe
look,
she'll have
Toucan
some useful
Sam.
insights.
Oh, that's a beautiful. Oh shit. Yep. Okay. I missed. I missed. I missed again. My aim sucks. Oh, it's level 1. Ah, fuck it. Bitch. To level 1. It's a male. That's okay. I'll level it up. I'll level it up. It'll be okay. I should call it the Grinch. Unless he gets killed. Motherfucker. Oh yeah, that can be level 1. Especially whenever you don't have uh, max level on. This is just my bullshit world where it doesn't matter if I have it on high or low. Don't get me wrong, you can still walk in caves and get attacked by 20 to 30 dinosaurs at one time and don't survive. Let's see, options. Neuter. No, change name. Grinch. Tis a good name. Oh yeah, tis always a good name. Now, who's that freaking Sabretooth I want? Or I could just fly low and let a Thylo pick me out of the freaking air. Oh, dude, look at that color scheme. No, I have the Halloween thing on unless it popped over. I know you did that on purpose. Just had to eat the only saber tooth I seen. Dogs eating cats. Doggy dog world. Okay, that was my bad. I'm sorry. Apparently it was too freaking powerful. was shooting it in the ass. I didn't mean to knock it out like that. Maybe I just gotta use my fists. Take out my fists. Could knock out a scorpion too. Scorpion, saber-tooth, spiders. I don't know, I might have just switched over to Winter Wonderland by itself. If anything, it's supposed to be the turkey thing. Oh, thank God. Got a saber-tooth. Yeah, it was right to the freaking head. Oh yeah, dark purple. Come on, eat already. Sitting duck here. Nah, put some speed in you. See, I can pick you up. Oh my God. I'm going to be so ticked off right now because I can pick him up now, but I could not pick him up while he was wild. That's going to annoy the hell out of me. gotta go to the boat base. I need to get to sleep. And it's so late. Gotta wake up around 7 o'clock. Yeah, I gotta take my mom to the doctor's appointment. To get her pain shots, and after she gets her pain shots, she won't be able to drive, so that's why she's having me drive. Oh shit, snakes. Oh, we was gonna land there, kitty, but now we're not. Yeah, I'm the only one able to. But then again, she needs to get her license on her van. So a bunch of issues. Bunch of problems I gotta deal with tomorrow, but oh well. Later on today, not tomorrow. Oh, it will. It will all work out. You take it easy. Thank you for dropping in.
Direct descent through Kushina, Naruto knelt beside his elder, drawing a kunai across his palm without hesitation. Blood welled, crimson and vital, dripping onto stone that seemed to shiver with anticipation. The moment the first drop touched limestone, a seal flared to life, spiraling patterns of azure light expanding outward from the point of contact, racing along invisible channels carved into the rock itself. The ground rumbled, birds scattering from nearby trees as earth shifted beneath their feet. The stone slab sank then slid sideways, revealing a staircase descending into darkness. Cool air rushed upward, carrying the scent of ink, parchment, and something sharper, chakra preserved like wine, growing more potent with age. The Uzumaki Archives, Kazashi whispered, reverence softening his usually stern voice. Preserved as I hoped. They descended single file, Naruto leading with a small flame of chakra cupped in his palm for illumination. The staircase spiraled downward, steps worn smooth by generations of feet that had ceased their passage decades before. At the bottom, they entered a vast circular chamber lined with shelves carved directly from bedrock, every surface inscribed with interlocking seals that glowed faintly in response to Naruto's presence. It recognized you, Sakura breathed, watching as seal lights spread throughout the chamber like sunrise chasing shadows. The whole place is responding to your chakra. Naruto stood transfixed as illumination revealed the chamber's contents. Hundreds of scrolls arranged in concentric circles, each tier representing different categories of Uzumaki knowledge. Some were massive, requiring 2 people to lift, others delicate, bound with red gold thread and tags that pulsed with stored techniques. At the center stood a pedestal bearing a single scroll encased in crystal that seemed to absorb and refract the seal light, casting prismatic patterns across the chamber. The clan registry, Kazashi explained, approaching the pedestal with measured steps. Every Uzumaki birth, marriage, and death recorded since before hidden villages existed. Names, lineages, and chakra signatures preserved through generations. He gestured for Naruto to approach. Place your hand upon it. Naruto pressed his palm against the cool crystal, blood from his still-open wound smearing across its surface. The crystal flared with blinding intensity, then seemed to melt away like ice beneath summer sun. The scroll unrolled of its own accord, characters flowing across parchment like living things until they reached empty space near the bottom. There, before their eyes, new text formed: Naruto Uzumaki, son of Kushina Uzumaki and Minato Namikaze, head of clan in Konoha, recognized this day. The registry acknowledges you, Kazashi said, something like pride softening the lines of his face. You are now, in every sense, the Uzumaki clan head. Shikamaru cleared his throat, breaking the moment with characteristic pragmatism. This is all very impressive, but there's still a compound to rebuild above ground, and you have council responsibilities starting tomorrow. His eyes narrowed in calculation. Even with your stamina, you can't be in 2 places at once. Naruto's answering grin contained the first flash of his old mischievous self they'd seen in weeks. Can't I? His hands formed a familiar sign, chakra surging through the chamber. Shadow Clone Jutsu. The explosion of smoke cleared to reveal 20 perfect duplicates, each wearing the same determined expression as the original. Politics and construction, the real Naruto declared. I can handle both. Send 5 clones to collect building supplies, 5 to contact our friends for help, 5 to begin clearing the overgrowth, and 5 to start cataloging what's in these archives. The clones dispersed with synchronized nods, pounding up the stairs with enthusiastic energy that echoed through the chamber. Sakura watched them go, a smile playing at the corners of her mouth. Some things never change, she murmured. Still solving problems by throwing shadow clones at them. But the problems have changed, Shikamaru observed quietly. And so has he. By midday, the Uzumaki compound had transformed from abandoned wasteland to bustling construction site. Word had spread through Konoha with the efficiency only a ninja village could achieve. The Uzumaki heir needed help rebuilding his clan's home. The response overwhelmed even Naruto's optimistic expectations. Yamato stood at the center of the former main house foundation, wood-style jutsu flowing from his hands as support beams erupted from earth and twisted toward the sky, forming the skeleton of what would become the new clan residence. Sweat beaded on his forehead as he shaped living wood with the precision of a master sculptor.